Alright, hey guys, what's up? This is going to be part 2 of my whole ACR unveiling. I'm debating whether I should show it in this video or wait till the actual unveiling in the third video. But anyway, I'm going to talk about pretty much what made this gun so annoying to build, and just like my whole experience. And I'm going to give some advice to anyone who's considering building their own gun. So link to part 1 if you haven't seen that, it'll be here. And I'll link to part 3 if you just want to skip this video, which is okay. Link to that will be here. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so why this gun was annoying to build? Well, first of all, the biggest annoyance of this build was that I just didn't know what I was doing. It wasn't that I didn't know what I was doing, is I've taken apart gearboxes before. Version 2s I'm pretty familiar with, and you know, if you take something apart, you just remember the sequence and you put it back together. On YouTube, you know, there's a bunch of videos, so I knew what I was supposed to do, but I didn't know how exactly to do it, if that makes any sense. I got the gearbox apart, but then I put the new parts in, and then everything was fine, except I had no idea how to shim. I do now, and I'm a little bit better at it now, but it took me literally probably 20 times to test the shimming, at least 20, and that's where most of the work hours went, and it was just in the shimming. And it's just because it's such a fine thing to tune. Pretty much the bevel gear is the hardest. I just couldn't get it right, and it cost me a lot of time. And I actually blew a fuse because of that. So now I don't have a fuse in my gun, but that's okay. And I almost electrocuted myself as well, so that was not fun. Pretty much, during one of the tests, I have it on video too, where the gun just stops. Not when I got electrocuted. That's the one where I broke or blew the fuse. I have that on video, but the time I almost got electrocuted, the wires were touching the metal on the upper receiver. Then I pulled the trigger, and then sparks just start to fly, and I hear this, like, first I hear the sound of, and then I smell the plastic on the battery melting from the heat of the electricity. And then, you know, the wires heated up, the motor heated up, and then I thought I broke the gun, so I had to let it sit for like an hour, and then I tried it again, and then it worked, but then the shimming was bad, so I had to go into it again, and then I had to open it up, and then I had to re-shim it, then I had to test it, and then I did that 20 times, at least 20 times, and I have like a lot of bloopers of just, you know, bad shim tests. I have the blown fuse, and then the other thing was that I lost the bushing, and because of that bushing, I wasted a lot of time. Pretty much the bushing fell on the ground right here. I was working on my desk. It just rolled off, and then it vanished into thin air. I cannot find it. I have not found it, and I probably will never find it. And then it was like $14 for the new one, for a new set of shims, and then I got the wrong size shims, and it would take another week for the right size shims to come in. So right there I wasted like 2 weeks, and I wasted more time because I was actually not going to use, I was going to use half of the stock gearbox and then half of another gearbox that I found from another gun. So it looked like a Frankenstein gun, and you'll see in one of the videos that, or in the blooper reel, that I actually have like a half steel and then a half like black gearbox, and it was funny. And then I had like one plastic bushing, and I wasted a lot of time trying to shim it there because it would never work. But yeah, then the shims came in, the right size shims came in, and then after, you know, a few weeks, I got everything. I got settled again after school died down. You know, one weekend I just sat down, and I put it all together. Another thing that was annoying was that the stock cylinder, for some reason, the compression it wasn't good anymore. I don't know. It shot strong enough in the beginning, that it actually had power, but then when I took it apart, there was just no air compression. So I switched the cylinder with with my Well M4 cylinder, and that gun has, oh, darn it, that gun has really good compression. So now the cylinder, everything is really tight, and it shoots really fast and far. You'll see that in part 3. But yeah, that was what made this gun so annoying. The time it took, the work hours it took, and just the frustration of, things not going the way they're supposed to. I mean, this should have taken not even like 3 hours to do, and it took me like at least 7 hours to do. So yeah, that was the build. It was a fun time when things worked the way they were supposed to. But I mean, that's just all part of the learning experience. And if anyone ever tells you that, leave it to the professionals because you don't know what you're doing, don't listen to them, because really, you're not going to learn unless you actually go in yourself and you try it out. Nobody is born a professional, so, they had to learn as well. Best thing to do is, I'd say, get one of your cheaper old airsoft guns, maybe work on that one. Just get a feel, go on YouTube if you think about doing a build. There are tons of tutorials. But yeah, stay tuned for part 3, guys. That's the big video. It shouldn't take that long to film because it's you'll just see it won't take that long to film. But yeah, you're gonna finally see the ACR. And yeah, so link to part 3 will be here. Link to part 1 will be here. Thanks for watching, guys.